How's it going, everybody? My name is Chris. I go by Topher James. I have a band called Topher James and Biscuit Brigade. I've been a professional musician since I was about 17 years old, playing bars in my high school band. Shout out to Phonetics. And I play violin, guitar. My brother has a band called the Andy Shaw Band, and I play drums in that band. I've toured all the way through Europe, all over America. I play a lot in my home state of Ohio. This is my Musician React series. I love reacting to music. I am a huge fan of Jack White ever since the White Stripes days. He just released some material, and I was watching an interview with Zane Lowe. Shout out to Zane Lowe. You know, we're buddies and all. I love his interview style, and I love the series. They're long-form interviews. And I was really excited to see that he interviewed Jack White because Jack's one of my favorite artists. In the interview, he was talking about how he actually used Pro Tools. I don't know if for the first time, but he edited on computer, and, you know, he's kind of flagged for one of those vintage hipster kind of guys. For a long time he was saying, you know, I use analog equipment because I think it sounds better, but I think he's kind of reached the point where he doesn't care anymore. This record, he's actually collaborating with Q-Tip from Tribe Called Quest, so we're gonna check it out. Jack White, gnarly guitar tone. Sirens. Apparently he uses a Cab Calloway sample, and he said in the interview that his friends think it's him singing in it. That does sound a lot like Jack White.
Said Jack, ain't you glad you duck my jive?
Have some of this hidey ho with me. Have some nicotine, it's a scream and it's free. Have it in your food, you can have it with your tea. As you're thinking and you're pondering and wonder what it be. Hidey ho is a Callaway vibe. Where you're hip and you're clean and you ain't taking no jive. Speaking of jive, I think I was on the label. That was a long time ago, that was a fable. Hidey ho, when you're looking in your mirror. When you fit, it's legit and it can't get any clearer. You're the wave, you're the rave, the unanimous conclusion. Cut in the bad like Stevie Wonder with conclusions. This is guitar Chuck coming for Chuck Berry. High tones from Minnie Rip Mariah Carey. Elijah my Plug Smooth, Bronner Embiid. Everybody got it in to find yours and succeed. Have some of this hidey ho with me. Have some of this hidey ho with me. Have some of this hidey ho with me.
This track's it's pretty fire. I'm enjoying it a lot. Energy. It's hard to mix the hip-hop and rock thing, I guess. I love that Q-Tip's voice is like, he's kind of Jack Whiteified it. It's got like this distortion on it.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. On the high school. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
I heard in the interview Jack said he had like, I think hundreds of tracks on here, which is not a Jack White thing. He normally is very stripped down and bare bones, and because he doesn't use computer to aid his music a lot of times, so now he's entered that age, and it's kind of interesting. You got like a classical guitar or like a ukulele or something in there, like these nylon strings. You've got clapping in there. Like a Moog synthesizer. You obviously have drums. You've got a lot of vocals going on.
Find your joy. Feel your vibrations on the highest plane.
hidey, hidey, ho with me.
Why you wanna do? Why you wanna do? Yeah, you wanna do? Why you wanna
Have some of this hidey.
All I can think of is a Muppet. That's a weird sample. It sounds like there's like a floor tom as a track. There's almost like a calfskin or like a coated head. Floor tom. I love the drum sounds. They sound raw. I don't know. That's the word I keep thinking of.
Hidey, hidey, ho with me. Have some of this hidey, hidey, ho with me.
Yeah, that's all. How do we miss it? Oh, my God, you know, more than you like thinking now. Hotty, yaddy, 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 yaddy. Hotty, yaddy, 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 yaddy. Hotty, yaddy, 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 yaddy.
The idea of being modern is there, but all the instrument sounds are very like old school analog to me. That bass is very almost like a Paul McCartney, almost like a pick bass. It's got that kind of percussive thing to it. That's the sound of like someone playing the bass. It's not a synthesized bass. It's just very analog, probably run through a tape machine or something. That was it. That's a short song. I love this track. I think it's great. Sometimes adding hip hop elements or a verse or something like that to a track that's traditionally a rock artist, yeah, it gets kind of. I mean, the Black Keys did the Black Rock album. I thought it was cool. I don't feel like it did very well. It wasn't well received, but this track is cool. It pulls it off. The biggest takeaway I would say is that analog kind of vintagey Jack White sound, and then mixed with the more of a modern hip hop aesthetic. And the way it was produced is clearly more modern. There's samples going on. Obviously, there's a rap verse in it, so that's not something you hear in a Jack White song very often. Though rap's been around for a while, in the way Jack White does things, this is a giant leap for him. And I think it's really cool that he showcases Q-Tip. It's not really about Jack White at all. Interesting that it's coming out on a Jack White solo record. I love the shout out to all the black artists in this song. I know Jack White's a Detroit guy. He's definitely a proponent of, I guess, under-celebrated blues artists specifically. And then he mixes that with, his Iggy Pop and the Stooges and punk rock, garage rock, street rock kind of stuff. I enjoy it. Not much else to say. I'm excited to check out more of his new music. Speaking of new music, I just recorded and released an album called Tell Your Story. I released them as singles once a month this year, starting in, January maybe? We had our EP release show in April at Natalie's. Thank you for everybody who came out. It was an amazing show. We ended up selling out the venue. That was really cool. If you are local in Ohio, I've got a bunch of shows coming up. Check out my website for the calendar to see the full band. I'm really excited to get out there again after, obviously, 2 long years of not being able to play at all with the band. Check me out on Instagram at Topher James Music. If you are in the area, check out my nonprofit Move Your Music Forward. That's also at Move Your Music Forward. We are doing workshops for songwriters and musicians. We are also doing work in underserved populations, writing songs with the elderly and different populations like that. We're just getting started, so we have a lot of ideas and we're kind of honing that in now. Shout out to Seek No Further Citery, who's helping us with a benefit on April 30th, and all the people that have been helping me so far. Jamie Sagal, Ebri Yahloe, check out her music. Thanks for checking this out. If you like what you see and you like what you hear, patreon.com/TopherJames. And I'm out. Thanks, guys.